Testing 1 2 3 4. Can you hear me now? Looks like I can. Welcome to my stream. Bruno's here with me. He wants to say hello. Actually, he just thinks I'm crazy talking to myself. But we're here. Welcome. All right, so we had a lot of side quests and I've been out on a crazy adventure. But we are back, and we are back to working on our cone dress. So today I wanted to get the roads started. Okay. You can sit on that, but not on this. So, I have decided on a 2-inch scale for our roads, but that is only the finished width of the roads. I do want to add an extra 1/2 inch so I can fold it over a 1/4 inch on either side for a seam allowance for a finished edge. Hello. Anyways, it's difficult to figure out my train of thought when I have somebody who is saying pet me now that I've gone live. He was A-okay. And now, anyways. Well, I'm glad you guys are here, and let's get started. So, what's the plan? What are we doing? Here, let me refresh your memory. This is the dress that we are working. Okay, so my mic does not work when I have that image up, but that is the inspiration for this that we are creating. It is a caped instead of a jacket, so there's no sleeves, but there will be armhole access. You know, sir, if you can't let me live stream, you're going to have to go down off of the table. You know the rest? Okay. Anyways. So, I went and rewatched the live stream with Gonzo on it to double check how the roads are supposed to be laid out. And I did a quick little sketch up that I don't think the lines are dark enough for you guys to see. So I'm just going to make them a little bit darker. This might be a little bit better. So there's a center front line that we are going to ignore. It is a tangible line that is the front of our cape right here. She's split open at the moment, but this is it if it was closed. Now, I'm kind of imagining this like 2 loops that go around the dress. So this one goes all the way around, and this one goes all the way around, and they cross. I want them to cross, not center front, but side front. I want to cheat the crossing to the front of the dress, as opposed to having it like perfectly at the side seam or something. And originally, I was going to draw the roads out onto a piece of fabric and then cut out those shapes so that I would have the perfect curvature already built into my roads. But since I'm doing these more as beltways, I'm wondering if I could get away with doing it as if it was a sash and using straight lines around my curve. That may be harder in the long run, but I kind of want to see if I can get it done that way, as opposed to just cutting out the different pieces and then chunking it on there. There's no right or wrong way. It's a million ways to accomplish the same thing. But this is kind of what I have in my head for how the roads are going to go. And it's pretty close to the picture, except for I think there's one little extra boop at the bottom. And you know what? If we can use it, I'll add it. But if it's not necessary, I won't stress about it. So this is our game plan. I have this cotton muslin of the shape of the cape. This is my pattern piece. the full back. I sprayed it with some water so to get some of the wrinkles out, but it's not, I don't think I'm going to end up using it, but I have it for reference. Right out thing. And then I was going to use this black fabric for my rhodes. It's a crushed velvet, so there's a lot of texture to it. But I really wasn't feeling it when it was like with this fabric. So I am going with this cotton. It has a nap to it, so it's like a fuzzier looking cotton versus a shiny looking cotton. And I feel like that kind of matches the same, the textures go well together, and I'm appreciating kind of the more matte look versus the shiny look. There's no right or wrong answer, it's just what I think looks nice. This piece has torn edges on both sides. What does that mean? It means that I tore the fabric, and when you tear fabric, it always tears straight of grain. So I can take a whole piece of yarn out of this and it's straight. It's straight on both sides. Since I wanted to do it at a 2-inch finished width, but I also want about, I was going to do a 1/4 inch on either side, but I'm kind of leaning towards a 1/2 inch on either side. Am I making it too difficult if I do it that way? So if I cut it out at 3 inches, then I have wiggle room. You know, I think I'm just going to give myself the 3 inches, and if it's too much, I can go down from there. But this is my torn edge, this is my selvage edge. They are perpendicular to each other, and I'm going to mark 3 inches out so that I have a 1/2 inch on either side to have seam allowance. And I'm just going to tear this fabric all the way down. Alright, let's see if this is going to be as easy as it is in my head. Otherwise, we'll do it the little bit more complicated way, but slightly more effective. Hopefully not. Let's see. I have See how it kind of comes up right here? Because this is a straight line going on a curved surface. I can gather it and slightly ease it down and stitch it down, and just kind of, you smoosh it and you smoosh it, and then it kind of works out. Or I can actually take little darts out of this and lay it flat. But I feel like the darts would be more noticeable. And I think I want it more here. The thing is that I don't have to have it a continuous line from here, because I'm going to finish this edge, continue the road underneath it, and then finish this edge. So I have some wiggle room. I think this is going to work. Let me get a couple more roads cut out. Let's see. Just tore it. We're going to go with this at 3 inches. So the finished width of this road will be narrower. Okay. Let's see. It's definitely wider than I wanted. I think I'm very secure in the 2 inches that it's going to be the finished width. I do like the crossing being right here. I'm going to cut out 2 more of these roads for the back. And then I'm just going to start kind of pinning it to it so it lays flat and figuring out the roads a little bit more detailed. I love the flockness of this fabric because it really matches the matteness, but like the felt, it just picks up fuzzies. It's okay. That's what lint rollers are for. This slightly too narrow piece, I'm going to tie it in a knot so it doesn't accidentally get stuck in with my other pieces that are the right width. And I will stick it into my scrap bin right there. Okay, I have my roads kind of figured out. I like this, where it's going. It feels a little too easy, so I feel like I'm going to hit some stumbles a little further down the road, but we'll get there when we get there. I need black thread because right now my sewing machine's threaded with white. Okay. Also need a black bobbin. Don't worry, I'm only live. Let me see. Just need a bobbin. I have a whole bunch of them. I have a million bobbins, and then when I need them, I can't find one. It's okay. I will just put some black bobbin over the white bobbin, and we'll just make it work. That's crazy. I had so many of them yesterday. It's okay. All right. Let's see. All right, I'm going to do something that I totally shouldn't do because this bobbin's a little too full. I'm just going to keep the bobbin on the bottom, and then I'll know what my right side is and what my wrong side is. And then when I've run out of bobbin thread, I'll be able to top stitch it. So it's not the end of the world. But I'm going to work with what I got at the moment. Okay. Because the first set of stitching I'm going to do is along the edges. I'm just going to do a guideline to fold it under, and then I'm going to top stitch it after I have my guidelines, because it makes it a lot more clean and crisp if I put those lines in. Turn on my sewing machine. Oh, I need power. There we go. Okay. Good morning, Danda's Junk. How's your day going? I'm plugged in, right? Yeah, okay. There's definitely a right side and a wrong side to this fabric, but having the white on the bottom is not going to affect anything. I didn't mess with my stitch length. I'm just doing it at a regular stitch length. Normally I probably would go for a wider stitch length just so it goes faster and it's basting, but now the question is what color should I do for the center dividing line? Bruno is scared by the sewing machine noise, and so he went outside to go bark at it. You guys hear him? Okay, let's do the other side. Sewing in straight lines. Super exciting, isn't it? But it's all the busy work. It's the magic that you don't see that makes things wonderful and awesome. I'm definitely straight of grain because I am shedding. But I'm going to wait to fold it under until I've run out of the white thread, just so that I can make it all. Anyways, get that done. Dan Does Junk said, missed you at SAC Anime. Hope all is well. Oh yeah. So I got back from Hawaii right in time for SAC Anime, but then I had a huge family emergency and was dealing with that and was unable to make it to SAC Anime. I heard it was the biggest it's ever been and that it is continuing to grow, which is awesome, and that the cosplay repair booth may be getting its own room next SAC Anime Summer. That's all rumor, however, but it's also exciting, and I'm really sad that I missed it. However, life happens, and there's always another con. I will be going to the Crocker Con, which is at the Crocker Art Museum. That will be August 12th, and I will have to pick out a costume for that, so that should be fun. So feel free to ask me any questions. I am sewing long straight seams this live stream. I will be sewing long straight seams, so buckle in. We're gonna have some fun. So many little threads. I never wear black when I'm sewing if I can avoid it, because it just is asking for strings and threads. But it's unavoidable. Lint rollers are my friend. Hi Bruno, did you bring your little lamb to show everyone? You did? Here, show everybody your little lamb. Yeah, good boy. Ah. Welcome, 45th Clown. I'm glad you can make it. I'm making some roads so that we can add them to this cape. The miniatures are coming soon. I'm really excited about it, so I wanted to get some roads placed down so that I can have fun by adding all the other things. Ooh. 45th Clown says, hope you had a good break and cool lamb. Right, Bruno? You have the coolest little lamb. Dan Does Junk says, hi, Bruno. Dan Does Junk also says, my wife and Miko made an appearance at SAC Anime. Oh, that's awesome. I'm sorry I missed it. Maybe one day, if you're behaved enough, I can take you to SAC Anime. No? You're not going to be behaved enough? No? Okay. Well, hopefully next year I'll be able to make it. Or at least by winter. I had all good intentions to go to SAC Anime. It just wasn't in the cards this year. Who knew? That's okay. I'm really excited about the Crocker Con. It's a small one, but I love the Crocker Art Museum so much. Okay. All right, 2 more. Oh, Miko has a stroller. That's smart. I still wouldn't trust Bruno. sorry. Am I not appreciating that you have a little lamb? You do know I'm live, right? Right? No? Okay. Okay. There's definitely a right side and a wrong side to this fabric. Camera might not be able to pick it up, but this side is fuzzy and has a nap to it, which is a technical term for a fuzz or a fur or hair, because it's been brushed on this side, but this side is flat. And the white being on this side just helps me visualize the right and wrong side of the fabrics a little easier. But I have to put it through the machine on the correct side first. But I haven't put it in the wrong way yet. Knock on wood. When there's right sides and wrong sides, I always figure out how to do the wrong side. Well, it's definitely eating up the bobbin thread, so that's a good thing. Lots of stitching. Definitely straight of grain, the way it's peeling. Don't worry, this is the last one. Can you drive in a straight line? And last side, I think, should have at least 4. 1, 2, 3, and this is 4. Okay. Giant thread. I used white threads for the edges, like it's the lines. Because it's not like super noticeable. But I want like road details. And if I do it as the edges, I don't know if I would hate it. Let me do a little test sample. Where's that one I have in a knot? Aha. Let me see how it looks, because I don't have to commit to anything. I can do a practice piece. Roads, not robes. Both would make sense, wouldn't they? But I'm putting the roads on the robe. Schultz Division, hello. Welcome. This so reminds me of those little car blankets that I used to have when I was a little kid that would dump all the Legos on and then build around and have the cars go on the streets. So I'm making a 3D version of that. All right, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. I was trying to think of how I wanted to finish my edges. So I'm doing a sample piece to see if what I'm thinking in my head will look nice or not. And you know what? It is looking really nice. Let's see. Good problems. Yay. I like the way it looks. It's not the only option that I have. Let's turn it off and on again, and it goes back to a straight stitch. See how that looks in comparison. Let me see which one I like better. It's so teeny tiny, you guys can't tell the difference on camera, but which one looks neater? You know, I thought I was going to like the zigzagged edge better than the fold and stitch edge, but this one's it's laying flatter where I switched the way I did the edges. This is a way more so if you look at the edge, this edge is curvier and more stretched out than this edge down here. I thought I was going to like this seam finish better than this seam finish. You guys cannot even tell the difference. Let me get closer. All right. So this seam edge finish is a zigzag. You can see it because I have the white on the stitching on the background. But on the front you can't see it. And then on this section I did a top stitch. Here's the white stitching on the back. And the two right next to each other. Did you go cross-eyed? A little bit. Anyways, I thought I was going to like the zigzag, but I like the straight stitch better. So I guess that's the way I'm going to do it. Let me finish these edges, and then I will start to pin them onto the cape. I'm actually appreciating the little bits of white that I can see. It makes it a lot easier. But yeah, I'm going to do a finger press with it. I'm not going to bother using a iron right now because this really isn't fighting me. It's folding really easily with those guidelines that I put in. Ah! Okay. You have to pull your threads as you're doing your first couple stitches. Otherwise, you might end up with a little bit of a knot. There we go. Okay. Just got to get it going. If your sewing machine's going to eat your fabric, it's usually on that first few bites. This is the boring part of road construction. But all the details are going to be the fun part, and they're coming up. Question is whether I should do like an interfacing on this one just to give it a little more structure and support. But I don't know if I'm going to need it. Although if I do it in the center, I could give it a little bit of a dimensionality, which I do like. I will know once I start pinning this up on there. Sewing with black is one of the hardest things to sew with because your eyes do not want to differentiate between the little shiny bits. But that little bit of a white dot edge from having the bobbin thread be white actually ended up being a slight blessing in disguise. Now that edge is finished and it's pretty. This edge is not finished. It is a little shreddy. So it's not too bad. All right. Now that it's getting narrower, it looks like the right scale, and I'm feeling a little more confident in our next few steps. Before I fully sew it on, I want to double check that I don't want a center dividing line. Part of me is like less is more, and the other part of me are more details tell better stories. So I think it's one of those things that you have to get it up and on and see how it feels. But I don't want it fully attached and then go, oh dang, I need to add a center line. And it would have been easier had I done it before I attached it. So. Danda's Junk says, might take a break from my Gundam cosplay for a while for the next cons coming up. Wearing giant costumes is a task and a half. There is a reason theme park characters are only in their outfits for a little while at a time. I can't imagine going to a con without having a home base to sit down and store your things and have a giant cosplay at the same time. But also, where else are you going to wear your giant cosplays? It's so much fun. I don't have any currently. I know this is a long and tedious task, but it makes everything look so nice, and it is worth the effort. I'm so impatient. I'm not going to do all three and then see. I have to see after the first one. I'm definitely a fan of that scale. For the center line, however, doesn't need it. Doesn't need a dividing line. I'm still thinking about that. I kind of want it, but I don't know if it's going to be necessary because I want the other details to stand out more, but all right. I have to keep the black on top because I haven't fixed my bobbin yet. Okay. Danda's Junk says, my energy level isn't what it used to be. I got tired after wearing it for only 5 minutes. Just standing there, LOL. Right? You're on stilts. You're carrying a heavy weight all around you. It's a lot to wear a big costume. Just having your head in a giant mask can be a lot. It skews with your perception of the world. When you extend your shoulders out, your self extends out because now you're aware of taking up the space, much space. And if you're not, you start knocking into things until you figure it out. It just throws everything off. Fun problems, but they're definitely have to get taken into consideration. Yeah. Right now in my head, I am working on tan jumpsuits for the Ghostbusters costumes, because our packs are almost finished, so I'm going to need an outfit to go with it. Secretly, I was hoping I would find one at a thrift store, but I'd have to go shopping at thrift stores to find one there. Because sometimes buying the fabric is way more expensive than just buying the finished thing. Okay. Sewing straight lines. Cheers. So what's your guys' dream cosplay? That's what I want to know. If you could do anything without having to worry about, you know, technology or restrictions, what cosplay would you totally go for? I want to be Navi from Legend of Zelda. Hey, listen! I want to be a poof ball. I've thought of several ways to make this happen. But ultimately, I look like that kid who wanted to dress up like a fart. So I haven't quite done it yet. But a whole giant cosplay? I don't know yet. What would I do? I only have 4 of these. The nice thing about these being a straight of grain is that they want to fold and stay in a straight line. That may be difficult later, but it seems like it's all smooshing nicely. Stitch and you stitch and you stitch. So that you can have a finished edge, because finished edges make everything look professionally done. "45th Clown says, I love seeing other cosplay. Right? One of my favorite things about going into a con is when you walk in, I feel like I've entered the lobby of Wreck-It Ralph, where they're all in the same little plug and there's all these crazy different people from different worlds that are just cohabitating like it's normal. And I love it. It's always so inspiring. And I feel like there's always something to take away from somebody's cosplay. Like, oh my gosh, I love their shoes. That wig technique, how'd you do it? It's magnetic? What? I have not yet sat through a costume contest. I would like to do that because I would like to see the costumes in their prime versus in their disrepair. Because when I'm at cosplay repair, I'm fixing broken things. And I don't get to see things that don't make it to the repair station as much. But I get to dig into people's costumes when they're in the repair station, which is always fun. 45th Clown says, love seeing cosplay, but never wanted to do. Was a ghost at age 8. Interesting. Honestly, I have been fascinated with dressing up since I found out what Halloween was, and have been in love ever since. Worked at a costume shop, got a degree in fashion design, merchandising, and marketing. And sometimes I see things and go, dang, I want that, but it doesn't exist. I need to make it happen. Yeah. Hi, Bruno. How are you? Okay. 2 down, 2 more to go. I think these are going to be nice roadways. Oh, he's being so well behaved. I appreciate you, Bruno. My first Halloween costume was a cow. I was a little cow. I still have that costume, too. But the first costume that I could pick, I was a princess. No, I was Little Mermaid. And then I was a princess the next year. Some things never change. Hey, Bruno. Where'd your little lamb go? I don't see it. Now he's got to go get it for me. You smoosh it and you smoosh it and you smoosh it. I sewed guidelines originally, and now I'm folding along those guidelines so I have a clean, crisp edge, and I'm stitching them down to the back. And it's giving me really nice edges. Okay. This is where music comes in handy. But since we're live, I can't have any playing. Cheers. is the seam that never ends. I wonder if I'm even going to run out of thread. Watch me run out as soon as I'm finished. It's okay. I like these little roads. I definitely need to press them. They need a pressing. But I wanted to wait until I have them kind of placed on this thing so that I can smoosh it and smoosh it so that it works. Oh, hi Jack, how are you doing? Yeah? Wanna come say hi? No? Okay. And here's Jack, he wants to say hi, but not really. Smoosh it and you smoosh it. I have it on full speed, but I keep pausing to fold it nicely. I don't want to stretch out the edges or get funny wrinkles or ripples. I'm sad that I didn't make it out to SAC Anime this time. I wanted to wear my Princess Leia costume because I was going to see the droids and I wanted to get that one picture of "Save us, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're our only hope." But I will see them around, hopefully. That'll be, you know, fun cons to run into them. I also wanted to wear my Little Mermaid because we had nice hot weather this weekend, and I was thinking about pulling out my not my Harley Quinn. That one's, it's too hot for Harley Quinn. But my Tylee costume would have been fun. I wore Tinkerbell to the last con I went to, so I wasn't stressed about wearing her. But now I'm like, okay, now I only have one costume to wear at the Crocker Con. And I'm like, should I wear one of those ones or whole new costume? And part of me is like, whole new costume, but I'm still have plenty I can still wear. So maybe I'll do a poll on the Discord of which outfit I should wear for Crocker Con. Very low stakes poll. I'm glad I have that habit to do a backstitch. I probably could have gotten a thick grosgrain ribbon this thick, but then I would have the grain and I don't want it, and I like this texture. It disappears, doesn't it? It's just a good matte black. Yeah, this black's too shiny. Can you tell the difference between the blacks? There's this black and there's this black. Yes, there's a difference in the blacks. I feel the same way about white, but I worked with wedding dresses and there are 50 shades of white and they all make a difference, and can't always tell it under inside light, but when you go out in the sunshine, it's unforgiving, and you can tell if your white is a cool white or a warm white. Blacks are a lot easier to match. as junk. I'm debating something new for load icon. Gives you enough time to get it done. I feel like cons are a great excuse to get things made. Oh no, I have a deadline to finish a project. Better or worse? A costume's a costume and it's meant to be fun. So, as much as it's like, I have all these other costumes I'm neglecting. A new costume, I can always seem to justify. Shh, don't tell them. Actually, I have been wanting to do a Renaissance fair. It's been a while, and I live near like 3 really good Renaissance fairs. There's like Valhalla, and there's Folsom Ren Fair, and anyways, I used to dress people up for these Ren fairs all the time working at the costume shop. And so I'm like, the season's kind of over, but now I'm like, ooh, I need to make a peasanty outfit. And I got this great linen tablecloth that I thought was stained and ruined, but I threw it through the laundry and it came out gorgeous, and now I'm debating whether I want to use it as a tablecloth or turn it into a linen chemise, fancy word for underdress or dress. It could totally be worn as a dress. But I was thinking of making it into a chemise because it's a really drapey, pretty, fancy linen. But then I got the stains out, so now I'm like, it's still a very fancy, pretty piece of linen that I could use for a tablecloth. So, whatever answer, it was free to me, so. But Renaissance fair clothing has been on my mind, so I may have a side quest at some point. Oh, I'll be debuting, not debating. Ha! Debuting. Oh, nice. So have you been posting about your new cosplay, or is that one just you've been working on, so you've actually been getting it finished? Because talking while you work and streaming while you're getting stuff done, it makes it take twice as long. Instead of being done with these seams like I should be if I was quiet and just did it, I keep interrupting myself and talking. But it makes it way more fun, honestly. I always tell my friends, I'm down to make you outfits and costumes. You just have to come hang out with me while I'm doing it. Is this the last? Yes! I'm so glad. I am so over sewing straight lines. I'm not going to stitch these down permanently to this cape yet because I'm about to get all the little people and houses and stuff, and I want to be able to smush things around, and I don't want to be like, well, the road's there. I can't put something cool right here because it just doesn't fit. I want to be able to put things where I want to put them. But I will kind of tack these down and have them placed ready to go. And I am more than likely going to hand stitch these down in place. Not because hand stitching's harder or easier than machine stitching. It's more that I only want to catch the top layers, and I have multiple layers here, and I'm not going to be sewing through all the layers. I'm only going to be attaching the road to the very top layer. Dan Does Junk says, still in the thought process, but it started getting stuff for it. It's from a game, but it looks like everyday wear. Okay, I can see that. Those are the best. Like cosplays that are just like real people clothes, because then they feel comfortable and you can just buy the clothes and wear them. So like when I was Misty, I had those shorts. I just threw on a pair of red suspenders and my yellow tank top. It was fun. That one's an easy cosplay. Yeah. 45th Clown says, please do continue chatting. I enjoy it. Well, thank you. I enjoy the company while I'm working on these random projects. Sometimes talking out problems makes me feel like, oh yeah, that does sound ridiculous. No, I don't think I'm going to do it that way. Or it goes, you know what? That doesn't sound so bad. I'm going to double down and do it that way. You know? That's why I appreciate working with people who disagree with me, because I end up with better things. Because I'm either more determined in the way I'm going to do it, or I understand the flaws and errors in my thinking. Usually it's the first. Okay. I have yellow. Do I have yellow yarn? I know I have green and I have blue. I have a cotton yellow that I've almost used up. I was thinking if I took a needle and just threaded a piece of yarn all the way through, it would have that it would make a good center dividing line. I think I might do that. I'll have to go hunt down some yellow yarn, because the one that I know where it's at is a cotton, and I think a polyester yarn would be more the look I'm going for. Even though this fabric right here, this is a cotton, this is a wool. The yellow line, I think I want it to be a polyester. Oh, I had this one yarn that had a retro reflective threads throughout it, and it was a hot pink. Hot pink would not be out of the realm of possibilities, but I don't have any more of that yarn. I just know it exists because I turned it into a mermaid and a blanket, and I really liked it, that yarn. It pops. It's vibrant as heck. Like, it is a bright pink with retro reflective things. So if I find that yarn in yellow, no, I think that's too much. I think that just might be too much. But it's okay to think too much and then bring myself back in, because maybe it would have been a great idea. I'll have to see what I have and what there is. I'm just curious, how much thread do I have left? Oh, still have a bunch. I can thread this bobbin. There you go. Okay. All right, let me see. This coming about there. Crossing about there. It's gonna weeble, it's gonna wobble, it's gonna twirl. It's on a PVC pipe stand, so it is not necessarily the most stable of situations. Oy. Ouch. Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. Okay. Gonna skip that section. Alright, it's a nice felt for now. I can kind of smoosh it as I need to. And then I'm just going to do a whip stitch holding everything kind of down and where it's going to end up. But I want to see what the houses and buildings look like first. I have little people. I have only 2 little cars, so I don't have cars that I can fully put on it. But I am going to do a separate piece underneath this with the strip. So this piece right here will fold under both sides and then line up in the middle. I think it's going to be so much fun. It's starting to come together and I'm getting excited about it. Okay, let's see. Double check with the chat. All right. So I'm going to call it a day for now with these roads. I have strips to work with. I'm going to be getting all the thingamajigs to get stuck onto this cape, and I'm excited about that. 45th Clown is asking, did you get to pick the model colors, or is it a surprise for you? It's going to be a surprise, but I know the color scheme that I usually work with when I work with this artist. It's going to be a vibrant green, hot pink, yellow, sky blue. So it's going to be within those really bright, vibrant color ranges, and it'll be fun. So I have so much green going on. I doubt there's going to be a lot of green, but I'm going to be adding little white picket fences that might be painted yellow. There's going to be lots of pink, yellow, and blue. So Will it be another painting session? Honestly, I'm hoping that they're coming the right colors, and if they're not the right colors, I guess we will be having another painting session, and I will have to have my friends over to help me paint because as much as I love tedious painting, it gets boring all by myself, so I would prefer it if I had friends and company. But these are the fun things. There's gonna be a little house and a little car and a car accident at the intersection because there's only one intersection and we can't figure out how to drive with other people yet. I'm really excited about this. All right, thank you for joining me. I've been rambling on long enough. Next week we will be doing this. We will be not finishing it up. We'll be adding all the little fun things, but I am going to be wrapping it up soon because we want to get this photographed. There's a model waiting ready to wear it. I just have to finish it, but I can't finish it without the things, and those things are getting here. So I'm ready for the things. Thank you again. Enjoyed working with all of you guys. Until next week, I'll see you guys next Tuesday.